It's upside down. For an unknown period of time, I was crouching down. Okay. Not a single moan escapes me. My throat has been pierced by a rotting branch. My tongue was the first to be pulled out. My vocal organs have been carefully destroyed to silence me. I have no body to stroke in pain. My limbs have been completely severed. It's as if only my heart is still living. My body stopped working long ago, but my sense of pain alone has yet to fail me. Living and being in pain are one and the same. As long as I continue to exist, even as only a heart, the pain won't end. For a long time, I've been left in this sunny spot. It is hope at its highest and despair at its deepest. How idiotic. It must be some detestable figment of my imagination. A misunderstanding coming from my insufficient awareness and inadequate experience. I repeat the cycle of pain and relief. That reminds me of the exercise repetitions I supposedly experienced in my childhood. Up to heaven, down to hell. West, east. Far away, deeper than everyone, like a cradle, a paradise of blooms without an exit. It's not painful to have no limbs, to lose myself bit by bit. I'm just scared. I'm scared of being nothing. I can't bear the life ceasing to be anything. This is very familiar. Again, I told us like heavens feel like back night or something. Reminds me of when Shirou was like losing his memories, or even like in the, I believe, well, I can't remember. Like either the heaven, like either the rather the Fate route or the Unlimited Blade Works route. I think he was like stabbed by Lancer, and then he was like, you know, remembering his, you know, his trauma and everything. It's sort of like that as well. I don't know. Anyway, if nothing comes from this, then this is nothing more than suffering for the sake of suffering. Yeah, I'm getting some deja vu. I don't know. My body is on the verge of death. While desperately wishing to die, I frantically wish to continue living. That contradiction. Men of older times called it hell. How wonderful. You can hear a silver-colored song. To be honest, I didn't want to die. Hey, the clips. For a long time, she was in a state of suspended animation. I hear something. Click, click. It sounds like pebbles hitting each other. It is somehow rhythmic. How you say it? I would say rhythmical? That doesn't sound right. It's like very rhythmic. Rhythmic? I don't know, I can't say that word. I don't know. It's in the rhythm. Remind me of a lively polka. Rhythmical. Anyway, with an absent mind, I listen only to that sound. Rhythmical. Where am I? I can't remember. No, I don't feel like remembering. My indolence is embarrassing. It is ridiculous how I'm awake, but my mind and will are still asleep. I strain my lumbering head and limbs, and crack the whip at my mulish body. Okay, we're in a fancy room. It's either Tohsaka's mansion, or Ilya's castle, or maybe neither. Pushing my arms downwards, I slightly prop up my body that was lying face down. I seem to be on a couch. How long have I been sleeping? When I try to recall where I am in the first place, my forehead is struck by severe pain. I feel dizzy. It's almost like the morning after a bout of heavy drinking. I have the bad habit of showing off by drinking all night despite being a weak drinker, but luckily there isn't a trace of alcohol inside of me. What's his voice? Not Shirou. While still mentally unfocused and unsteady, I check my surroundings. I ought to be in a mansion. I don't recognize it. I can't recall why I'm here and why I've been asleep until now. Click, click, click. The sound continues. There's no clock, it's pitch black outside. My gut is telling me it's past midnight. Inside, I can't see at all. Not only do my arms and legs feel heavy, but my vision has also been weakened, it appears. I know the layout of the room, but it's too blurry for me to get a good view of it. Still, I attempt to grasp my current situation, and finally... I finally notice that in front of me, someone is sitting with his back faced towards me. It is too dark for my weakened vision, so I can't quite make it out. I can still tell there is a shadow of a man. The man is sitting and looking downward. He's in a reading posture and pays no notice to me. It looks as if he was engrossed with something. What is he doing? I slowly push myself up and look at his hands. It was easier for my arms and legs to recover than it was for my mental ability and vision. Once I start moving, my mobility will increase the more I move. Something a little puzzle thing? It's not a book he's occupied with. I believe it's a picture puzzle? A simple game with a picture broken up into 16 pieces. One of the pieces is removed and the rest are shuffled and then moved into the open block to bring it back into the original picture, I think. Yeah, I hate these kinds of puzzles in a lot of video games. I never have a real strategy for them. I kind of just move the pieces until it works. I don't know. It's an amusement aimed at children that everybody has picked up at least once. Dreaded sliding puzzle. He's still occupied with the puzzle. I stop looking at him and raise myself up to a sitting position on the sofa. Master. He says as if he were an old friend of mine. I'm startled by my mumbled voice. He laughs viciously. His voice is irritating, but I don't feel any anger. Stunned, I look at him in confusion. Why am I? Why is me? That question came first. No matter how hard I try, I can't remember why I had been asleep. He furrows his eyebrows, odd considering I can't see very well, and points to the corner of the room. There's an old, dull mirror in the corner. I walk up to the mirror on unsteady feet. There isn't any lighting, and the pale moonlight sharpens the darkness. There's a cloudy mirror, abandoned for many, many years, in this god-forsaken mansion. In it, looking at me stunned, is unmistakably myself. I'm a woman? Amazing. My voice slips out. This doesn't make any sense. Why am I started seeing the body I had grown up with for more than 20 years? Dark red hair and eyes. An unlikable figure, useful only for intimidating others. Really? I don't know, she's not unlikable, I don't know. An armor of male attire that denies any femininity. I don't know. I think her curves show through enough, so she's not exactly unfeminine. Anyway, this is me. The same old me. The same plain old Bazett Fraga McRemitz. Bazett Fraga McRemitz. And yet I'm still startled. I can feel that there's something wrong with the figure shown in the mirror. As if there's something extra. As if something that ought to be there is missing. Just as that paradoxical notion entered my mind, time to go killing. With that one word, he erased a small doubt that something was out of place. Master. Why had I forgotten that word? The battle for a miracle. 7 magi putting their lives on the line. The master of the ultimate familiar wielding the Holy Grail. That's why I'm here. To participate in the great ritual known as the Holy Grail War of this Asian island country. Ah yes, Japan. The Holy Grail is a holy artifact said to grant the wishes of its master. there is yet to be one who has obtained the true Holy Grail. It is ultimately no more than a legend. The Holy Grail summoned in Fuyuki is an imitation based on this legend. However, though it may not be the original, as long as it's the powerful artifact that grants wishes, it is called a Holy Grail. To the Magi, the matter of true and false is a lesser issue. The main concern is whether or not the imitation is powerful. In that case, the Holy Grail in Fuyuki could be said to be of great concern. Yes, 726? Well, I mean, as far as I remember, I guess the idea is that there's only been like 5 Holy Grail wars technically. The Holy Grail that we know in the Fate, in Fate Stay Night. But I guess like any kind of artifact that could be called a Holy Grail is technically called a Holy Grail, I guess. So like, there's been other Holy Grails that are not exactly, the same way. They're not summoned the same way as like a through the Holy Grail War, Battle Royale of the Serpents. It could be like other Holy Grails that are just like summoned in different ways. I don't know, something like that. At least that's what I remember Kirei mentioning. That was the decision of the Mages Association, an organized self-defense body for the concealment of magic. The Holy Grail War of this land is a competition between Magi. There's a limit to the number of participants. The association was allowed only 1 seat. The person to be chosen was one who was a specialist at combat. A person that was suited to use magic, not for the sake of academia, but as a weapon. It is a Far Eastern island country's ritual, one that has nothing to do with the faction struggles within the association and is nothing but a nuisance. Ironically, I guess, even if it does end the world, I guess they don't really care. Or maybe they don't understand the potential, maybe. A battle where defeat is not allowed, but victory would bring no glory. I was selected for that very battle. This meant using an artifact passed down within my family as the summoning catalyst for my servant. Carrying the burden of the prestige and trust of the association and the means to fight, I departed. Wari wa. Bazett Fraga McRemitz.
君の右に出る者はいない。いては君の立場が危うくなるからね。
Laughing spitefully, they saw me off. As they said, it was only in combat that they had absolute faith in me, as well as derision. God's holder, okay, tradition carrier. The other name I am called by. An ability in magic making use of the old blood passed down in my lineage that determine who I am.
そうだ。私はマスターとして聖杯戦争に参加した。
To fight and win the war as a magus of the association. That is my mission. That alone should have been my mission. Well, I don't know if I was gonna mention it, but I think something happened to you, buddy, but anyway. But why? I have a vague feeling that I was looking for something other than the Holy Grail. Something or someone. If that was the case, there may have been someone I wanted to meet more than getting the Holy Grail. I can't remember. What happened to me in the last few days? I know who I am, but what happened later, what happened since I came to Fuyuki is a blur. I remember joining the battle as a master. I remember patrolling the city with my servant. But there's still many blanks. The last few days. That's right. My memory of everything that's happened since I came to this city has been clouded. Why have I been sleeping in this house in the first place?
Oi. いつまでもボケっとしてんじゃねえぞ。時間もねえんだ。さっさと片付けに行こうぜ。
The figure that's speaking to me, he's a servant, a being given form from the summoning of a legendary hero, what is called a heroic spirit. They're the most powerful familiars that a human being can control. Maybe need like a, like a refresher, you know, of how the whole thing works from Fate Stay Night. There's a path between the master and the servant to supply magical energy. My magical energy, or to be more direct, my life energy, is what powers that servant. I can tell that my body is acting as a wedge that pins this servant to this plane of existence. He's definitely my servant. But still, was this the servant I summoned? I ask, while struggling with his headache. The servant rose up and is now staring at me, finally noticing that something's amiss. The shadow sways almost like a flame. I can feel it in my guts. This man may be my servant, but he's certainly not on my side. This is a sort of a wild animal that will kill his master to come free as soon as he gets the chance. The relationship between the master and servant is not based on trust among employer and employee. It's only a relationship of cooperation, based on mutual gains and losses. Letting down one's guard, showing even the slightest weakness means risking being stabbed in the back the very instant. There's no benefit in hiding the cloudiness in my memory. I look back at the servant and reveal my current disorder. However, I didn't reveal what had to be hidden. I cannot tell him that my vision has weakened, nor that my memory is vague, or rather not that, nor that my memory is not vague, but rather missing. Okay. These are my current weaknesses. If I told him that servant would immediately bare his fangs at him, or at me rather. I can't speak. The best I can do is behave normally while getting information from the servant and trying to recover my own memory. Well, I don't know about that. Would you rather get Shirou? I don't know. Without showing any signs of weaknesses, I tell him the truth. Whether it worked or not, the taint of suspicion that the servant had been carrying grew fainter. You know, Bazett her voice kind of reminds me of Ryder, actually. I don't know, a little bit like Ryder. Okay, we took a nap and then we forgot all the memories. Yes, before coming to Fuyuki, I did investigate suitable safe houses as potential bases at the association. Among the ones I checked, yes, this mansion should have been one of those. My mind grows hazy. When I try to recall what happened, I start to feel faint. I shouldn't push myself too hard right now. I have to hear what happened from the servant. I remember indistinctly that this happened. I did form a contract with a servant in this mansion. He's just raring to go. He just wants to kill. Only my name. No, more importantly, what this servant is saying is dangerous. It's very reassuring that he loves fighting, but it'll be a problem if he loves it more than is necessary.
待ちなさい。確認しますが、私たちは基本的な戦闘方針すら話し合っていなかったのですか？
ないよ。きっと必要なかったんだ。あんたは事前にこの町を調べていたろうし、俺だって聖杯戦争がどんなものか呼び出された時点で頭に叩き込まれてる。要はより早く効率的に手段を選ばず他のマスターどもを殺していけばいいって話じゃんか。相談することなんてねえよ。恐ろしい顔するなあんた。そう睨むなよ。おっかねえじゃん。
Okay.
何？俺気に障ることでも言った？
ええ。あなたとは相互理解が必要なようですね。私のサーバントがそんな考えなしでは腹が立つ。私は教会を代表する魔術師であって猛獣使いになる気はありませんから。
I stare and try to intimidate him. Whatever, said the servant, averting his eyes.
ま、相互理解はできないと思うけど。
He mutters as if it doesn't concern him.
いいさ。で、何？教会の代表様はどんな戦いがお好みで？
ことは隠密に、無駄な戦いは行いません。まずは敵マスターの調査を優先。今回の聖杯戦争がどういったものかを把握した後、倒すべき順番を考慮し、撃破に移行します。
Those are the orders received from the association. First, I have to gather information on 3 families that administered the Holy Grail War: Ainsburn, Tohsaka, and Makiri, who we do know now from the Heaven's Field is actually Mato. An investigation of the remaining 3 masters will proceed afterwards. It may be possible to convince Magi to abandon their master status. There also may be other outstanding Magi that ought to be taken into custody by the association. Besides, to act without proper information is an embarrassment for the magus of the association.
は？使いっ走りの犬じゃあるまいし、何悠長に言ってやがる。敵は見つけたら殺せよマスター。結局は潰し合う同業だ。出会ったら最後逃げられないし逃がさないものだろうが。
I didn't need him to tell me that. I feel the same way, but I can't disobey the orders of the association.
従いなさい。教会は神秘を隠匿するための組織です。下手な騒ぎはできません。それに無秩序に戦えば一般人に犠牲が出てしまう。聖杯の入手は絶対条件ですが、町の人間を巻き込むことは極力避けるべきだ。
This is not only a matter of the Mages Association. The Holy Church also has involvement in the Holy Grail War. Should any damage be brought to the city, they will vigorously move in to conceal it to ensure the smooth continuance of the ritual. There's a limit to this, however. Last time in the Fourth War, there was a master that killed indiscriminately and daily. The priest monitoring revealed the master as an enemy and penalized him severely. Who would that be? I don't know.
それは手段を選ぶってことかな。俺には思いつかないが、勝ち残るための一環として殺しはしない方がいいとか。
勝ち残るためではありません。私とて魔術師です。必要ですが、それでも人として最低限守るべきものがあるでしょう。
Oops, I accidentally skipped the dialogue. I gotta be careful sometimes. Sometimes I can't tell if they already finished talking. I guess I'm just gonna kill, yeah.
ああ、そりゃ、なんつうか。
He sounds unenthusiastic. The servant apathetically breathes out and...
あんたさ、霊術使ってくんない？
Okay.
私には逆らうな、みたいな。そうしないと、あんたを真っ先に殺しそうだわ。
Okay. I feel like this servant, I don't think he's a good person. A gulp. He's serious. He doesn't care about what happened next. The rule of cooperating with a master for his own protection doesn't apply to him. This bastard is seriously aiming for my throat. The servant told me to use a command spell to stop him. 3 absolute rights of order that a master has. Powerful spells given by the Holy Grail. A master's trump card that can only be used 3 times, but ensures that any command is followed. For that reason, I answer him immediately.
断ります。飼い犬に命令される主人などいないし、飼い犬に殺される者など主人ではありません。
Okay, we're gonna call his bluff.
あなたは私のサーバントだ。あなたがどう動くか、あなたがいつ死に挑むかは私が決める。
I forced back his bloodlust with my own. No matter what, if I use a command spell for something as frivolous as this, I had no future in this war. Flashback to Tohsaka Rin, frivolously using a command spell. I clench my right fist and start carving runes into the floor with my heel to be able to intercept any assault at any time.
なるほどね。なら考え方を変えてみるか。オーケー。俺はあんたのサーバントだ。飼い主には従うよ。
Okay. The servant gave in easily. It's, how should I put it, anticlimactic? And my heart was beating in excitement at the feeling that battle was gonna break out, so I could learn how powerful servants were.
なんだよ。それでも文句あんの？
いえ、問題はないけど、本当に私の言葉を理解しているのですか？
ああ、できるだけ死人は出すなってんだろ。それがマスターの方針ってことは理解したよ。で、他にはまだ言っておくことってあるか？
Okay, that was easy. Too easy. There are many things I want to say in detail, but I have nothing else to say regarding a general plan. The rest I can do by giving orders depending on the rest I can do is by giving orders depending on the situation.
よし、なら行こうぜ。いい加減ここにいるのも飽き飽きだ。
The servant prods me to go out. I'm still physically unstable, but I'm curious about what is going on outside. And anyway, after sleeping for such a long time, I want to move around freely a bit.
わかりました。細かい方針は状況に応じて変えていきましょう。
I regain myself. For the time being, I'll leave Rack behind. What, who? Rack? There are limits to that sword. Okay, it's a sword. I can't use it fully in my current state. After I locate the other masters, I can think about who to use it on. She did mention she did bring like a treasure, I guess, from her, you know, from her bloodline or something. So maybe that's Rack, I guess.
しかしね、できるだけ死人は出すなか。いいね。そうできたら最高かもな。
The servant repeats cheerfully.
含みがあるのなら言いなさい。私の方針に意見があるなら、ここで型をつけましょう。
だから理解したって。おっかねえからあんたとはまだやり合わねえよ。けどさ、それは無理なんだマスター。死人を出さないとか周りを巻き込まないとか関係ないよ。あんたがどう頑張ったところでこの町は4日間しか持たないんだから。
No longer than 4 days? Is there like
ですって。
a giant moon with a face on it that's gonna like fall down on us or something?
外に出ればわかる。とっくにそんな状況じゃねえってな。この町の人間は日々溢れ出してる得体の知れない連中にどんどん減らされていってるんだから。
得体の知れない連中ですって。そんなバカな。あなた、私の記憶が曖昧だからとつまらない狂言を。
外に出ればわかる。百聞は一見にしかずだ。
The servant stifles his laughter. As I stand bewildered, the black shadow takes my hand and starts walking.
さあ、聖杯戦争を続けよう。バゼットフラガマクレミッツ。今度こそ君の望みを見つけるために。
The house was built on top of a high hill. It lies hidden within a forest, separating from any human habitation. My head aches. I thought that breathing the outside air would clear myself, more or less, but instead, the cold night air only clouds my thoughts further.
どうしたマスター？まだ外に出るのは早かったか？
The servant pokes fun at me. I shake my head and keep going. My mind is still sluggish. Oh, and then it's black. The bright moonlight seems to be the source of my disorientation. It's quiet. Of course, it's past 2 AM, but the city is abnormally silent even for this time. It slightly resembles my own hometown, the port town I spent my childhood in. At night, the tide would come into the town and people would shut themselves in their houses as if they were afraid. The empty city was almost like a ship sunk at the bottom of the ocean, prompting a younger me to want to run away from that place. I must have felt that everybody would have forgotten that I existed if I had stayed like that, at the bottom of this ocean. I couldn't help thinking about the old gods that nobody remembered anymore, sharing the same cursed fate. And now, Fuyuki is being submerged into the ocean depths too. The atmosphere is different from the one I remember. It is too quiet. It might as well be an abandoned city. Did the Sakura eat everyone again or something? Or maybe it's different. Regardless, only the presence of life is evident. So it's also different because, it's also different because Bazett is here, because I don't think she was a master, at least in the routes we had in Fate Stay Night, so... And also this servant, who we don't know who it is. At least, well, I think I know who he is. No spoilers though. I don't know, his actual, the whole backstory of who this person is, but I think I know because of Fate Grand Order, the gacha game. There's some visual spoilers, that is just inevitable in that game, but I don't really know who this person is. I just have a feeling, I kinda know. I know his name, and know how he looks like probably, but anyway. I could feel almost countless numbers of creatures breathing. Surrounding me is an aura that I've never felt before. Mysterious things is what my servant said. I don't want to admit it, but it seems there's a credibility to what he says. Yeah, I don't really know his personality. At least, beyond what we saw from here. And it seems like, he seems like a person who wants to murder, but is also, I don't know, apathetic to everything. See, he seems like a trickster, We've been walking for some 2 hours. The servant stops in his tracks, is now gazing at a particular residence.
すげえな。この辺りは見て回ったんだが、まだ残っていやがったか。
He speaks with an impressed tone. The house he's looking at is nothing more than a regular building. If there's anything that distinguishes it from the other residences, it is the fact that the lights are still on.
あんたはそこにいろ。まだ本調子じゃねえんだろ。一足先に俺が様子を見てきてやるよ。
The servant starts walking towards it on his own accord. I try to chase after him. Pathetically, I'm thrown off by the moonlight. I've got to be honest here. I can't speak for the other servants, but see? Can't speak, but see me? I didn't feel like doing this from the get-go. High level magic, the summoning of beings purified into the level of legends and the giving of form to make them familiars, that's what servants are. Not something so cheap as just borrowing a piece of the power of the heroic spirits, no, it's actually a projection of the guy himself. A resurrection just for the Holy Grail War, a clone with a short lifespan, a guardian of humanity reborn into the modern era. Sounds nice and dandy. Autonomous weapons are pretty convenient, right? Wait, who are we? Are we? Because I don't know. Except replicating even what's on the inside is gonna be a little too far, don't you think? This type of speaking, I don't think we're Bazett again, I don't know. A familiar being able to think doesn't do anyone any good. That goes double for servants. Suppose the familiar more powerful than its master. Now let's say it can think for itself. Well, there's no reason why it won't revolt. I was lucky enough to be summoned by a master who was my type of woman. Personally, I'm satisfied for her. It looks like I'm gonna be doing some disobeying. Okay, we're the guy, we're the servant. Why? Well, why not? I might not have any complaints about the boss, but I've got a hell lot to say about society. I feel like shit. Like I was left hanging in the morgue. Back when I was alive, the world was still lively. Nowadays, it's old and dying. Got a few 100 million years left before it kicks the bucket. It's too late to do anything about it. Being one of those fellows that knew what she was like back in the old days, it wouldn't be right to not be a little bit angry about her current predicament and all of that. Of course, it was pretty obvious that she'd clean dry one of these days, but damn, that was fast. Now there's a part of me that hate my own species for that filthiness, but another part of me wants to pat them on the back at the same time. The power of humanity is incredible. Oh, how morals have come and gone in the blink of an eye. It makes me wonder just how many new generations of humanity have been born and how many have been wiped out. Given how fast things are, given how fast they are, it's too bad how they haven't come up with any kind of evolution that's environmentally friendly. I gotta hand it to the hominids. They sure did a great job at amplifying a ready-made system instead of finding a new kind of cycle. But that means there's no future ahead, so if they can buy a little more time, it'd be nice if they come up with some new kind of improvement and keep going. They've already gone to all the trouble of destroying this much. Where do you want to go? I have exhausted this land. Was this good? Was this bad? I want results that anyone can understand. Even if the answer is that it was a failure, I don't mind one bit. You know, the way he talks, I don't know how, I can't place my finger on it, but it's kind of like, I don't know, he's just like, he doesn't take anything seriously. Those of heroic spirit status must have feelings of animosity towards this era. Then again, heroic spirits are supposed to be on humanity's side. That would mean they approve of whatever result humanity brings about, just like how I do the opposite of that. Well, let's say there was this godlike absolute being as a force of good, and let's say he was summoned here in this day and age. Now, what would he do? Would he approve of it? Would he act to protect us? If he approves, we face extinction. If he protects us, he'll watch on. A sane heroic spirit would choose the latter. One with a few screws loose would happily lend a hand, and another with only one screw left would get excited at making the world a better place. Something like, I'm going to save the world. Wow, I don't ever want to be that kind of guy. I don't even fight him. Save the world, eh? Seigi no Mikata? Now as for me, there's only one thing I can do either way. I may be a heroic spirit, but I'm not that strong. Take a look at all the legends in the world and you still won't find anybody weaker than me. Yay, I'm number 1. You're damn lucky, Master. Can't get any lower than this. Easy to make up a battle plan since all there is to do is think about how to take on the strong. I don't want to think about it, but there's a good chance that lady's stronger than me in the pure fighting ability. Okay, that's weird. It's funny, because usually servants are just stronger than masters in general, but not this servant, I guess. He's just weak. A heroic spirit getting his ass kicked by a human? Oh boy, I want to disappear. Don't cause any deaths, that's what she said. That's the way to go, milady Magus of the House of Whatever. Expect to find a strategy to reach a sheltered girl on honor roll. Getting a sense of pure humanity for a master. But hey, I can't do that. All I can do is kill. Honestly, a bloodless victory is a pain in the ass. I'm already the weakest. Not gonna be winning if I'm goody two-shoes. This thing does have war in the name, so we ought to be relying on the slaughter techniques that man had so painstakingly developed. Servants are one thing, but masters are human. It'd be way easier to take them out with mines, explosions like the last time. Last time? Yeah, now we have this thing called human rights. Disgusting. This time, things are different. The Mages Association is watching oh so painstakingly close. Plus, the system of public safety that modern man has created is not too shabby. If I run wild, the other masters will figure out where Bazett is. Now, I don't mind finishing off a horde of people nice and fast, but consecutive fighting on consecutive nights is gonna exhaust me, so I want to avoid that. At that point, the part on Bazett's strategy about not going overboard is fine with me. so I'll try my best to follow the master's plan, like any good servant would. Well then, with that out of the way, let's turn back to what we have now.
待て。何をするつもりだお前は。
Ignoring my hesitant master's voice, I'm heading to that house. I don't have to bother checking. The fact that the lights are on means there are live humans inside. Unfortunately, I don't have any human or heat detecting abilities. My servant skills can be summed up as nothing. But that's okay. What's inside there is human. I dematerialize myself and pass through the front door. I manifest my weapon and go towards the people in the living room. Let's finish this. Fast and cruel, like always. Now, for all I know, there could be some accident like the strongest ultra-humanoid in all of human history is inside and has powers that surpass a heroic spirit. Well, no problem whatsoever. I may be the weakest, but I can defeat the most powerful human being. Why? Because... not something to brag about, but when it comes down to dealing with humans, I am the strongest. Okay. Okay, as long, I guess, I don't know, it's like he has a weird ability where as long as he fights humans, he always wins or something. And why is he scared of Bazett then? I don't know. Bazett could beat him, but he's technically human too, right? Or does she not count because she's a magus? I don't know. Blood splashes up in the air. The inhabitants are dead. Well, one middle-aged man, two boys, one granny, one old man holding a bloodstained knife. Oh, he's still alive. What a letdown. By the time I broke in, it was already over. Oh, okay, we didn't kill them. Someone else did, right? Or... his breath is ragged and heavy. The mad culprit who massacred those four. He doesn't pay any attention to me, probably because he wants to take out the last geezer. Also, we're like a weird beast. Are we the beast thing, or...? The geezer backed himself up in the wall and is desperately shaking his head. I'm confused, I don't know. The murder scene and method are pretty grisly to look at. The bodies are ravaged beyond recognition. Blood, flesh, and entrails are splendidly scattered about. The choking stench of life, a living space splattered here and there, the end row for the Brady Bunch. What? That's a funny reference, okay. Damn clean for a murder scene. Not one little flaw. After all, it was murder for murder's sake. No robbing, no raping, no hungering. Not one bit of that here. I'll save him since he asked. Since it was a surprise blow from behind, the murderer is killed easily. After that, I'm back to my regular job. Okay. I mean, we didn't kill everyone, I guess. Or, I say we. The servant. We didn't kill literally everyone, but... we did finish them off, so... By the time I ran to the house, it was all over. There are 5 corpses in the living room. I'm able to tell by what appears to be 5 heads severed from the nose. It's a slaughter scene so grotesque, I could not have determined how many there are through any other means. The servant says while standing idly in a pool of fresh blood. In the servant's clenched hand is a warped dagger. A form that seems to be a mix of fangs and claws of a beast. It is meant to be gripped backhanded. I've never seen a weapon that looks so difficult to use. But that weapon is his noble phantasm. Its symbol is a heroic spirit. The shadow laughs in agreement. There's no need to investigate any further. This situation told me that the cause of this tragedy was the servant. Wait, I don't know, that was weird? I don't know, I don't fully really understand. It's like he came across a murder scene and everyone... I thought that one guy killed everyone else or something, but then there was like a weird wolfman thing. I mean, I think I know what that wolf beast thing was, but we'll see, I guess. Because again, visual spoilers from Fate Grand Order, but anyway. I don't know. I thought because then again he did mention the wounds on the people's heads, like he did, I guess, decapitate everyone. I don't know why, but all right. The
これもあんたのためだぜ。俺は当たりを探しているだけだ。一人一人調べるのも、一人一人殺していくのも変わらない。
Okay, so I guess you're looking for the master, so just kill them. Oh, I don't know.
要は目撃者を作らなければいいんだろ。ならよ、こうして潰していけば、いつかマスターに出会えるぜ。
Okay, so if we kill everyone in this town, eventually we'll kill the master, right? Haha, that's his plan. We'll keep the deaths to minimum, you see, by doing that, I guess.
お前は
This guy, he hadn't listened to anything I said. I was prepared to accept some sacrifices once I went to battle. I'm a magus and I'm no different from a murderer. However, still, I never desired this kind of meaningless sacrifice.
お前は人を殺すことが楽しいのか？
あ？バカ言うな。俺だって好きでやってるわけじゃねえ。こうして求められた以上、自分にできることをやっただけだぜ。あのさ、人型をしてるからって勘違いするなよ、マスター。サーバントってのは、つまるところこういうもんじゃないのか？
質問に答えていない。私は人を殺すのが楽しいのかと聞いたのです。
I glare at the servant. Holding that warp dagger, the servant.
とりわけ何も。第一、殺しちゃ楽しめねえだろ。いろいろ。
Okay. He directed a repugnant laugh as if he wanted to share in his amusement. Alright, so he's just very evil. I don't know. I don't want to kill them, but not because of, like, for moral reasons. Only because I want to, like, torture them. You know? For fun.
それでも英霊か。
I can't restrain myself. It's strange. I've seen people like him countless times, yet without any reason I feel disgust at this man's way of life. It somehow feels as if this man alone must not be forgiven.
あんたこそ、殺し合いが向かないんならマスターになんざなるな。しらけるんだよ、実際。つまんねえ。せっかくの賞が台無しだぜ。喜んでもらえると期待してたのにさ。
cheer you up? What? I don't know. I don't know about that.
悪いけど、その期待には最後まで応えられない。今確信したわ。私たちは反りが合わない。あなたは私が最も嫌う人格だ。
I turn my hostility towards my own servant. I direct hatred similar to annoyance at the person I have to gain trust from first. I'm not acting right. The immaturity of showing my feelings and hating someone should have been discarded a long time ago.
へえ。いいね。俺も基本的にあらゆるものが気に入らない。下手に気を許されるとイラつくんで、それぐらいがちょうどいい。こういうのも気が合うっていうのかね。
What a weirdo. I don't know, this server is just a weirdo. The server shows no signs of caring. I hate him, he doesn't think of anything of me. So there'll be no cause for friction even if we despise each other as long as we have no plans to bond.
けどさ、
No bond level.
割と好きな部類に入る。
Except, he just said something odd.
なぜですか？あなたはあらゆるものが気に入らないのでしょう。
Well, they're not mutually exclusive. You can hate and like at the same time. Maybe, I don't know.
マスターとして、あなたがどのようなサーバントかは理解できる。あなたの方向性は、人間を好むものではない。
とりあえずいい女だからな。気に入らねえけど好感を抱いてるんだ。
私が女だからという理由ですか？
女じゃなくていい女。あんたさ、えらくそそるんだよ。
Okay, that's...
体つきも好みなんだが、優等生なところとか、一般論を守ろうとしてるところとか、みっともなさすぎて見ていられない。わかる？こんな単一機能を発揮しただけの仕事じゃなく、何らかの意味を持って殺したくなるぐらい、あんたは俺を欲情させてるってこと。
Okay, this is... No, I don't... Why did we summon him? The shadow laughs. Intent flows in through our connected path, so dense I can physically feel it. Ah yes, die, die, die. Like upside down. The servant isn't lying. He hates all things. By nature, he sees everything as an object to kill, without reason or reward. There can't be no other explanation. Not for this pure hatred that can turn into a curse without having to use the incendiary device of magic, just by existing. That leaves me with questions. For someone with as much bloodlust as him to not kill me earlier does not make any sense.
先ほどの話ですが、あなたはまず私を殺すと言い、それを抑えた。私に欲情しているあなたが例樹なしで、どうやって私への欲求を抑えたのですか？
ああ、あんたはマスターだからな。あんたは人間じゃないってさっきルールを作ったところ。
Okay, just made that rule. Why not?
まあ要するにこの世で唯一殺す気になれない生き物になったってわけ。見てくれは女だけど中身は人間じゃないっつが攻略対象外の生物にカテゴライズしたんだよ。
Is that how it works? Because I was saying before, like, apparently he can kill all humans. But, you know, I guess Bazett's not a human, at least according to him. I don't know. That was direct. For some reason, I find his answer incredibly hurtful.
私を人間扱いしないと?
I've heard people say before that I'm boring or that I'm not charming, but this will be the first time I wasn't treated like a woman. No, he said as a human being, but that is how it sounded to me. Okay.
信用できねえか？最大限の情報なんだぜ。こんなの最初で最後の特例なんだぞ。くそ、頭くるな。こっちは本気なのに。はいはい、そうですか。形のないものは見えませんか。しょうがない。こういうのなら信用できる？
So he interpreted my silence as suspicion. He tears out a page of a notepad from the blood-soaked desk and writes something on it.
おい、これあげる。誰かに譲ったりしないように。
Certificate of exemption from murder, valid into the end of the Holy Grail War, in well-written Japanese. Okay, why is he so weird?
何ですかこれは？
何って？人間じゃない証明書。これなら誰が見てもあんたは攻略対象外ってわかるだろ。
Good for you, he says, pushing the piece of paper into my hands. Yes, my judgment was correct. This servant and I are hopelessly doomed to not get along. Okay. We cannot afford to stay at the murder scene forever. Hurriedly, we leave the residence behind. I have my complaints of my servant acting without my permission, but it's already too late. By continuing to argue with him, the only thing that will result is further mistrust. However, there's one thing I feel that's strange about him. I cannot trust this servant. Masters and servants are linked. Because of that, I can feel that he's fundamentally the kind that enjoys murder and completely kills his opponent ruthlessly, no matter who or what. He's my complete opposite. I complete my missions without leaving room for personal feelings. However, this servant does so only with personal feelings. He operates only on the emotion of wanting to kill people. Despite that...
なんだ？よそに行くんじゃないのか、マスター。それともあれか？ここで異常を聞きつけてきたマスターどもをはめ殺すかい？
そんな見えすいた罠にかかる魔術師はいませんし、戦闘は第2段階からです。まずは調査からと言ったでしょ。
いや、結構いそうだぜ、間抜けなルーキーは。例えば、夜の巡回に精を出して勝手に死んでそうなやつとかな。
Yep, and he gets a lot bad ends and visits the Tiger Dojo.
下調べなんてやってたら他の連中に食われるってのは分からねえんだよ。ほんと、富士の善人だね、ありゃ。
I ignore my servant's chatter and walk ahead. And yet, despite all of his negative points, I don't feel that this servant is unpleasant. He's the kind of human being that I despise the most. I cannot tolerate him on any level. Why is it that I can't completely hate him? I close my eyes and focus on our link. In exchange for the flowing magical energy, sometimes, I feel something very refreshing. A feeling of homesickness rubbing against the heart. A prayer resembling longing. How hollow. Hollow Ataraxia? That void tells me something. I don't understand the clear reason why, but it tells me that Saber will never betray me. It tells me that he will lend me his chaotic will to grant my wish. We resume our patrol. This night, we focus on our investigation on Shinto. The Shinto investigation ends in about 2 hours. We are unable to detect any traces of magi. In addition, the presence of the mysterious things the servant mentioned was confirmed. Part of me finds it hard to believe, but Fuyuki has indeed completely changed. All over, I can feel an unusual presence. It is as if we were always being watched. The city has begun to come apart at the seams ever so slightly. On a different note, while there are many traces of magical energy, there are absolutely no signs of magic being performed. Which would mean that this isn't the work of a master gathering magical energy. The only feasible possibility is that there is something feeding on the inhabitants of the city, unrelated to the war. Again, is it Sakura? I don't know. Maybe something else. No master would benefit from this. Doing this would instead force a halt to the Holy Grail War. That would mean there's a magus that desired the Holy Grail but was not chosen as a master. Perhaps out of a twisted desire for vengeance, he's trying to disrupt the ritual? Another possibility was he made a contract with another association to disrupt the Holy Grail War. Regardless, it is obvious that there's an 8th magus in Fuyuki.
8人目? もう一人邪魔者が増えたってのか?
断言はできませんが、その確率が高い。私の知らない魔術師が第5次聖杯戦争に介入しようとしているのは確かだ。その魔術師の目的はわかりませんが。
He was starting off by breaking the rules of the Holy Grail War. Maybe best to think of him as not just my enemy, but as the enemy of all the masters.
そいつどんなやつ?
直接的な戦闘に自信がなく、広範囲の結界作りを得意としている。攻めより守りが向いているのでしょう。
Assuming this is happening parallel to Heaven's Feel, are they talking about maybe, you know, Zoken? Insect guy, right? The old insect man.
正しく魔導を学んではいませんね。黒魔術とドルイド思想が混同されている。
Maybe? I don't know. I'm not sure. This is very confusing because, again, Bazett was not supposed to be in the Holy Grail War in the first place, or this might be like an entirely new timeline. I don't even know.
そういうんじゃなくてさ、強いか弱いかって話。
魔術師としてのスキルは初歩です。ですが。
The remaining magical energy traces were extremely dense. Magical energy is only fuel to activate magic. By itself, it has no effect. However, there are cases when it can leave behind a form, only limited to those times when magical energy itself bears traits similar to magic. For example, I've heard that the Einsburns gave a personality to their Holy Grail. Yeah, her name is Ilya. If that personality has magical energy, then it naturally possesses the magic trait of wish granting. Since its vital activity and its functions as a Holy Grail are likely directly connected to each other, it should be able to perform miracles resembling magic merely by releasing magical energy. The incarnated demons spoken of by the Holy Church also fall into this category. Those that were created as demons rather than as life forms can use higher level magic than humans. As magi, our magic circuits are nothing more than pseudo-nerves, an ability that was added later behind our nervous system. However, demons have no need for those. All their organic functions merely serve the purpose of invoking the demonic. I hear the church call those true demons. Different from imposters that don a hide of human concepts to become a unique identity, they are genuine demons that the Lord had commanded before man would name them, or so I hear.
何にせよ、厄介な介入者のようです。つまらない行動原理の魔術師なら取るに足りませんが、教会に雇われたフリーランスだとしたら侮れない。そういえば、前回の聖杯戦争で勝ち残ったのは確か。
A freelance magus hired by the Einsburn, Kirutsugu. His name was Emiya Shirou. combat magus called in by the Einsburns, they had retired from the front lines by the time I had been assigned to sealing missions. Our occupations have the tendency to intrude on each other's territory. Had it still been active, I would have likely fought him numerous times. While the situation is becoming more unstable, I can't change my policy just because of one more enemy. I will proceed with the investigation of all the masters, causing as little damage to the people of this city as possible. The problem is what to do next. It is obvious that my servant's abilities are low ranking. In a straight-off fight on pure ability, he will eventually exhaust himself and lose. I have to think of an order of who to fight, but I know very well who our final opponent ought to be. The lineage of Holy Grails, Einsburn. It has been said that they have prepared the most powerful master for this war. In the past, I fought a homunculus created by the Einsburns. Being a failed creation facing disposal, I ran away from Einsburn territory and survived by scraping out a meager existence in the human city. I was responsible for destroying it, but the results were bitter. Even considering that at the time I was still inexperienced, the Einsburn-produced homunculus was tougher than many magi. The same Einsburns have produced a master for this battle that they believe to be most powerful. In all honesty, I can't even begin to see any chance of victory at this stage. Until I discover what tricks the enemy has up their sleeves, fighting against the Einsburn is suicidal. In the forest on the outskirts of the city lies the old castle the Einsburns control. The day we invade that forest will most likely be the day my Holy Grail war will end. Okay, the last place we come to is a hilltop graveyard for foreigners. Yorokobe! I suppose because the Einsburn is casting a shadow over my mind. I feel weak, disorientated from a headache. I really didn't want to come here. My unease must have shown on my face. My servant is actually showing concern for my health. I allow myself to be taken in by sudden consideration.
つまらない質問ですが、あなたは私が勝てると思いますか?
And I put into words that weak uncertainty that I had tried not to think about. The servant's expression changes. Keeping his mouth twisted with sarcasm, he turns his back to me.
その不安はまだ早い。勝つか負けるかなんだ。何を倒すかを決めてからなんだが。
His voice is strained. He's bent forward like a beast with prey before his eyes.
ついてねえな。どうやら悠長に悩む時間はないみたいだぜ。
He's grinning. What you see is the master and the servant. Nini? I feel a powerful flow of magical energy. Who is it? The command spells on her left hand shine brightly. She's still young, but appears to possess wisdom that far surpasses my own. Okay, it looks red. I see some hair. She's in a dress, but I think is someone we know?
はじめまして。ひなびた荒野の魔術師さん。
Yeah, she looks different. But I think it's Rin, right? She looks really different. I don't know.
どう？お互いの名を知る必要はあるかしら。
And she speaks differently. I don't know. Is this like an alternate universe Rin or something? She's probably from one of the great houses. Her eyes are full of derision. Nani? And here's Sakura, also dressed in a weird way as well. To her side is another figure. I cannot tell which class she belongs to, but the fact that the master brought her means she must be a servant. Wait, she's a servant? I'm so confused! Everything is topsy-turvy. I don't understand. Except for like the very beginning was like a ghost story, but after that, you know, we had the characters and everything from the previous game, but at this point with Bazett, I'm confused. I removed the leather gloves inscribed with runes of protection from my chest pocket. I take them out along with something hard. Why was I carrying this earring? Why had I tucked it away so carefully? These questions rise to the surface, but now isn't the time for that. I put the gloves on. The girl who waits politely for me to make my move. I regret not being a rack with me. If I survive, I'll make sure to carry it, even if I'm out only for investigations. While I shouldn't use my trump card immediately, having it increases the range in my strategy.
敵の実力を測ります。 あなたはサーバントの相手を。
あいよ。
Not taking any care to see what she would do, he rushed towards the girl's servant. The two figures clash. I passed by the side and ran towards the defenseless master.
名乗り上げる名さえ持たぬ田舎者でしたのね。
Nani, why she
よろ
was
しくてよ。エーデルフェルトの手にかかることを名誉となさい。
Edelfelds? Daddy, who are you? You're not Rin, or you look like Rin. I don't understand. She fired a scatter of Gandir, a one-action spell preventing close combat. Her magecraft is a firearm in itself. This isn't a metaphor. Eldefeld, a noble family of Finland, the Orskills, the same Eldefeld that produced many masters of Gandir. This generation's young head was praised as the pride of their lineage, but now that I've seen how skilled she is, I can agree. Phew! I don't block the Gandir aimed at both sides of my thigh. I keep moving, parrying only the Gandir that would hit my upper body with my left fist.
素手で私のガンドを。
Are we punching it away? Punch, punch! I move in. My right fist, lowered to the base of my chest, strikes aim at the side of her stomach, where her kidneys are. Are we like a boxing servant? That's kinda cool, actually. I am blown backwards. A figure appearing from behind her protects her from a body blow. Body blow. Buddy. What's that like? There's a... Was it... I believe it's King of Fighters. Wasn't it King of Fighters or some kind of fighting game? That's what she reminds me right now, Bazett. There's like a boxer, you know, that would like do their special move and it was like... Buddy. Appa! Something like that. Oh, Saber. Oh, okay. A swordsman stands in my way. A servant. There's no denying it. That is a servant.
そんな。ならもう一人の少女。
Yeah, she thought Sakura was a servant, but I assume Sakura is not a servant. She's also a master. Maybe. The moment I looked away to confirm, the battle was over.
お願い。セイバー。
The other girl screams. And there's Saber Alter as well. Was this... What? Saber defeats my servant, just as the girl had ordered her to. How appallingly weak. With just one flash of steel, not even with a matched sword against sword, my servant has his neck pierced is already gone. Okay, that he didn't do much. Also, Saber and Saber Alter is here. Is this like fake... Is this fake Go? Is this like fake Go PvP or something?
話にならないじゃない。
It's two Sabers. In the same timeline. It's weird.
セイバー、手っ取り早く片付けなさい。帰って熱いコーヒーを楽しみましょう。
Saber nods silently. And with that. Oh. Oh, it's the same CG. I am defeated without being able to prepare my weapon. So this is Saber. This doesn't make any sense. The two girls are using a different Saber.
下調べが足りなかったようね。エーデルフェルトの当主は常に姉妹だと。あなたの耳には届かなかったのかしら。
Yeah, now you're the Elderfeld family, and I mean, you are sisters in another timeline, I guess. But this time Sakura wasn't sent away, maybe, and they just grew up together. And maybe Tohsaka Rin. I mean, I remember Tohsaka Rin was always like poor, basically. Partly because of Kirei, because Kirei, you know, adopted her, I guess. And also, you know, intentionally made her poor and everything. But now she's like haughty, I guess, and rich. So maybe now that's why her personality is different. I don't know. Sisters. That is the magic trait of their bloodline. The normally abhorrent notion having two successors was the reason why they were called scales. Then the two of them are one master, and summon two different sides of the same heroic spirit. That's cheating. I don't know. I guess they can do that. I don't know.
まず一人、私たちの手にかかることを光栄に、一番初めに倒されることを恥と知りなさい。
Hey, isn't that kind of nice for them anyway? Because they aren't separated, you know, Sakura and Rin. They aren't separated in this timeline. They were just together this whole time. Amazing.
残るマスターはこれであと5人ですわ。
Her voice echoed to the moon. Saber, silently and without showing any hint of emotion, thrusts a sword into my chest. Blech. My conscience is being severed. The moon is cycling like a white skull, and thus comes the end of my Holy Grail war. Once again. Losing sight of the ending, without conclusion, the curtains fall. Okay, next, Heaven's Feels Back Night 2. Alright.